Howdy y'all, my name is Brunhalf-a-Ton Mistrunner, Tormore of the Mistrunner Tribe, and today I wanted to talk to y'all about Heroic Shadow Labs. Shadow Labs is one of the tougher instances in the lower city Alkandun area. It's to the south, because Shadow Labs starts with an S. Set the calls, that's different. I'm just going to take you through here, pull by pull, talk to you about how to do it. Gonna just go in, this one's a single pull, you can just charge defensive stance. Build thread, take him out. Easy first pull. And now since this is heroic, we don't need to go through and pull every single pack. If you want to do that for rep, you can do that on normal mode. Gives you the same amount of rep per ad. Alright. So what we're going to do is CC some of them. Let's just tell the mages these can be your CC targets, make it super easy for us. We're going to range pull around the corner. They can CC. If you have a rogue, they can sap. If you have a hunter, they can trap. If you have a warrior, they can blap. These Deathsworn guys, they've got a polearm weapon that can be disarmed, reducing damage taken. This she broke. Just get the next one. Acolytes, spellcasters, they're pretty squishy. They can do spells, heals. He just did a renew, that can be purged. He casts a heal, that can be bashed. Pulling the next one. Might as well just pull this one, give yourself a little bit more breathing room. Double Acolyte is not too hard. They're both pretty squishy, just be sure to interrupt the heal. Got a couple Devastates on Skull, tabbed over to X, got a Devastate, tabbed back to Skull. Tab targeting is nice. Let's get up a shout. We have all ranged in this group, so it's double mage, elemental shaman. So battle shout, it'll give you more threat as the tank, but you're not really helping your team push through that much faster. So I'll give us some health. Next pull is a Warlock with a bunch of imps. We can line of sight this one. They cast spells. And there are a bunch of pulls nearby. So I want to get this first. So I got a Devastate here. Interrupted that. Let's just get a Thunderclap and a Demo Shout on these ads. Can throw up a Spell Reflect. We may be able to get this Shadow Bolt. Yep, we did. Hit for about 1.8k on him. Mages can AoE these. Alright, next pull. Got a Skull, X, Moon, and Diamond. So we have some CC. We'll give people a little bit of time to recover their mana. This guy does patrol, so you don't necessarily need to fight him in this 3-pack. Let's just see if we can pull it now. Line of sight again. Skull is a polearm guy. We can disarm him. Take the edge off the incoming damage. Very nice. Acolyte. Easy pull. And we got him. These next pulls you can probably skip. Let's just see if we can do that. Special agent mission here. Yep, we skipped all that. Nice. Good skip. Just hug the left there. Earth Mother bless me. Coming up around the corner here. You've got these channelers. They're channeling some foul magic on these crystals. I don't know what it is. These are 4 packs, so we'll mark a CC for each of the mages here. And then we'll be pulling these way back. These big Felguard guys patrol around. One nice thing you can do is just mark them, make it a little bit easier to see incoming stuff. We'll pull the other pack here, since there are no Felguards around them. These cast spells, so we need to go way back. Way back. We'll just throw a commanding shout. Get some initial threat. Try to line of sight these. Okay, now we'll go up here. Get a devastate. Tab, get a devastate. Interrupt that Adel humanoid. Put some magic debuff on the target. They do have to channel it. Pretty clean. These are a good deal harder if you don't have CC. The Ritualists do have a gouge ability. If that hits the tank, they will switch target onto somebody else, which can be tough. Alright, keeping an eye out for these Felguards. Mark the next pull. Wait until the Felguards are out of range, and we'll pull. I don't think they chain. If they do, you're about to find out. Looks like they do not chain. Got 2 Devastates on Skull. Gonna tab over to X. Got 1 Devastate. And a Shield Slam and a Revenge. I'm gonna tab back to Skull. Taunt it. Make sure I have it. X is stunned. Nice. I'm gouged there. Gonna interrupt that Frostbolt. I can also War Stomp. Fun fact, War Stomp does not break sheep. Gouged again. You notice they change targets when they do that. Keeping up commanding shout. Frostbolt. Nice counter spell. You can spell reflect those. Clean pull. Now these Felguard guys, they hit pretty hard and they also cast an AoE fear. And it's a physical type fear, which I believe can't be dispelled, but we can double check that. I think I can pull it here without it chaining. And it chained. So I'll mark Moon and Diamond. See if we can get some sheeps. And if we pull it way back, I can do an AoE fear. Reduce our incoming damage. I'm going to be killing this one first. Cast a Mortal Strike, which is pretty nasty. This hallway is pretty large. Yep, it's a physical fear, so it can be dispelled. I want to make sure I have threat on all these. I'll just get a stun out. I want to pull this away from the sheep so we can do a little bit of AoE if we want to. That one's not marked, now it is. Fantastic. Feared. That's why you want to make sure this pull is way back. It's really easy to pull into the other packs. We're just holding these. Taking them down. Interrupting the spells. Tab Devastate on the Moon. Checking target of target. Is it Brunt? Yes it is, that's good. Tab, Brunt, good. If not, Taunt, Devastate, Shield Slam. Do all that stuff. Taunt, Devastate. Tab, I'm gouged. And Taunt. It's on Brunt. We War Stomp it. Commanding Shout for HP. Pretty clean. Give the healer a little bit of time for mana. Just because you're ready to go doesn't mean the rest of the party is ready to go. We got 4 mana users stacked up. They're going to be a lot more effective if they get a little bit of time. So I'm letting them drink. And we got to wait for this guy to pat back anyway. So we did learn that they do chain to each other. Sometimes there are different kinds of units where if you pull them next to another one, they just don't even care. Like you pull this guy and he's like, I didn't even like them. But in this case, they are allied together. So if you pull the Fel Overseer too close to the Ritualist, it will pull the Ritualist. Starting off with some Devastates. One trick you can do here, and you have to be kind of fancy about this, is build some threat and defensive stance. And then I know this guy wants to fear me. So what I can do is I can just tab over it and I can tank in Berserker stance for a little bit. Now I deal a lot less threat in Berserker stance, but boom, you see that? I just instantly broke the fear. And then I'll go back to defensive stance because Berserker Rage is going to be on cooldown anyway. So that would be a way to add a little bit of stability to the pull. They do a Mortal Strike on you, so you want to make sure you're topped off with healing and your healer is strong. If you're going to risk that, and you also want to make sure you're not going to lose aggro. Because, it doesn't say it, but Berserker stance, you deal 80% threat. Defensive stance, you deal 110% threat before Defiance. After Defiance, God knows how much threat you do. 15% more than you already do. 125% threat, god damn. It's incredible. Alright, we got some threat on him. Gonna tab over, Berserker stance. Devastating it, shield slamming it, still got threat. I may have just resisted that fear. You see how the DPS are dealing a lot more threat relative to me in Berserker stance? I'll just Berserker Rage and then switch to defensive stance because I have that buff up for 10 seconds and he's gonna die. Nice. Alright, next pull. 2 sheep targets marked. Mana looks good, gonna pull. Line of sight. Sometimes they cast arcane missiles. Revenge. I'm gouged. I'm gonna tab over, I'm gonna try to taunt X as soon as I can. Taunted. I'm gonna War Stomp. Nice Paladin Sun on X. I'm gouged again. Alright, 2 more. A lot of the damage from these is melee. So, if you are ranged and you get one of these on you because the tank is getting focused, you can just blink away or use defensive. If you have a defensive. Or use a potion, whatever. Oops. Moon. And there's a 4th one back there. I'll mark it when it comes by. Man, it looks pretty good. Alright, we got our sheep target. There's the other one. Getting our Sunder's out. Spell Reflect. Boom, that Frostbolt goes right back. 1.7k. Now I got threat. 3 seconds. I'm going to Spell Reflect again. I don't have the Rage. And someone are shocked anyway. Just get a Thunderclap Demo shout up. There's another Spell Reflect. I interrupted his Flame Buffet. Clean pull. Note for the upcoming boss, as soon as you kill these channelers, this guy is loose. That's what they're doing here, is they're sort of channeling a banish on this demon. Gouged. I am in range to intervene. Cool thing about intervene is you can just be focusing this target, and if you intervene, it'll intercept whoever they were focusing on if it's not you. Alright, next one, we want to make sure everybody's in full mana before we start this pull. You want to make sure it's nice and clean. Commanding Shout to get some initial threat. Use Addled Humanoid on them. Just gonna War Stomp. dictate the tempo of this pull. Interrupt that. Shield slam that. Demo shout that. I can line of sight whatever he's casting on me. Tab Devastate on the moon. I can also just stun it. Nice Dragon Breath from the mage there. Spell Reflect this if I have the mana. I do not, but it was interrupted anyway. One thing you could do, if you're in voice comms with people, you can tell them that you're going to Spell Reflect so they don't interrupt it. That way you're not wasting rage. But I'm trying to give y'all a walkthrough this time. Alright, boss is loose. We give a second for mana. He starts patrolling around the room, so we need to drink, drink, drink. Top off, top off. See if I can get a charge. I can. Then I get a bloodthirst. Or blood rage. Building rage. This guy's pretty simple. He's hidden for like 1.6k. As a general good tank practice, you could put your back against the wall. This guy doesn't do a knockback, but if you're ever in a run and you don't know what the guy does, you can just put your back to a wall. So he does a fear, which is a magic fear. The paladin just dispelled that very quickly. And then he also does a physical corrosive acid effect. Damage every 3 seconds and armor reduction. So you could offset that by a defensive trinket, or you could use an iron shield. But as you can see here, we are very comfortably tanking this guy. Don't need to do that. You can save that for Kairos and Gruul or Mag. A really important part of tanking a run is understanding the power level of the group and being able to adjust your playstyle to fit that. So sometimes you get into a group that is just mega strong and you don't really have to consume quite as hard if you're not in a hurry to finish it. Let's get a couple sheeps here. These pulls are fairly nasty. I'll talk you through them. But we need mana for now. I'll just go ahead and mark the patrol so I can keep an eye on where those are. You've got these malicious instructors just walking around the room, marking all of them. And I'm going to pull all these way the fuck back. Way back. On a line of sight. The Shadow Priests hit the hardest. They cast a Mind Flay that ticks for like 3k. It is very painful. Shield Slam. Tab to X. Got some Devastates on him, so I should have a bit of threat. There's a Mind Flay. We can bash that. Now we're getting the Acolyte. We can just stun him. Can't cast that. Let's get the Cultists next. These ones dual wield fist weapons. They hit really fast. No, if you don't dodge. I'll save a bit of rage on this one. Okay, I don't know if I can reflect this after it's been casted. No, I guess not. That would be cool though. Alright, this is a 5-pack, pretty big. We'll kill the Shadow Priest first, Acolyte next. We'll get a couple sheeps. These pulls, you definitely want to CC every single thing you can, because they're very technical mobs. The physical ones hit really hard, and the Shadow Priest ones are absurdly strong. So we're pulling. I do a challenging shout, or sorry, commanding shout, to get some initial threat on everything. You develop threat with that ability by buffing your party members. It's not a lot of threat, but if nobody's touched anything, it's enough to put you first, at least for the start of the pull. I'm going to concussion blow this Shadow Priest, and then I'm going to tab over, interrupt that heal, just throw a War Stomp, throw a Demo Shout, soften the damage incoming, and we're stable. I want to try something here. The Shadow Priest love... Oh no, it's a Death Sworn. For the next Shadow Priest that's sheeped, I could try to just open with Spell Reflect and see if we can maybe reflect a Mind Blast or something. Also, remember to stay hydrated when you tank in real life. Maybe you don't need to drink water in game, but you can drink water IRL. It's going to help your brain and your body. Alright, got our next pull marked. I'm going to pull it way back. Actually, I could pull this instructor first. Just want to wait until it's out of range so it doesn't chain. And we go. Commanding shout is up. These ones hit pretty hard physically. Vulnerable to melee attacks with this Marker Malice, which stacks and it's physical, so you cannot dispel it. Shadow Nova, 1.3k, it's an AoE around the instructor, so range should stand in the back. They also do a disarm, but you can still shield slam and shout. And this is the daily dungeon quest. You need to get 3 of those. Alright, we'll pull this one back. Mana looks good. Blood Rage. Commanding shout, build some initial threat. Look at that mind flay on that mage. I'm gonna intercept this. Make sure I get on this guy. War stomped it to interrupt. Shield bash that. There's a heal. I can't interrupt. Actually, I have a stun. And stun the next heal. There we go. Nice interrupt mage. You want to see my spec real quick? I'm deep prot, 48 points in prot. Just taking a glance through there. I've got crit, 5, parry, heroic. And this is going to be a spec where I can tank heroics and I can also tank Gruul and Magtheridon and Karazhan. Pretty good for all of them. Alright. Big pull, all clear. Okay, this is another big one. Let's just get CCs on the physical ones. The casters we can blow up pretty quick. Let's get this. Mark that. I want to make sure the instructor is pretty far away from the pull. I get it. And we're going. I'm just going to tab Devastate. We got one on X. We got one on Square. Want to get this guy. Bashed it. Pulling him back. We need a line of sight. Line of sight the Warlock if we can. Okay, it's not working, so I'm just going to intercept, taunt, and then I'll spell reflect. 1779. Shadow Bolt, not bad. There's a Seed of Corruption that's cast on them that can be dispelled. The Warlocks cast that. So we could have line of sighted that a little bit better. The Warlock is still shooting us from around the corner. I'll interrupt that. You can dispel that. Nice dispel. Okay, the sheeps are broken. I'll make sure I get these. Now the Warlock is a turtle. Yep, these cultists hit very hard. You notice that? They just turned, slapped. Your DPS died. This is what heroics are like. It's very exciting, and this is a big part of why CC is so crucial in heroics. If a lot of these melee mobs hit anyone who is not the tank, they just instantly die. That's just how it is. Healer mana is still fine, so we're steady. Holding threat on the Warlock. These run, make sure they don't chain into another group. And there are also some assassins in this room. So be wary of those. Be ready to snap call, defensive stance, intervene if they're on your heal or something. We're punching through this with just 1 DPS. Can disarm the assassin. The Warlock is fresh out of mana. He's just stabbing with his dagger as best he can. Shadow Bolt, nice. Just stun the assassin. It's about dead. Not the cleanest pull, but we got it done. One thing we could have done better there was line of sight all the way around the corner. They were still able to shoot from this position here into that hallway. So you could even use this. If you're ranged, just hide it behind this. If you have threat on something and shadow bolting, it'll at least come out to here, which will help for the tank picking it up. Bandaging people up, doing what we can. Get the pull going again. Resing people costs mana, and the healer has to drink, so every little bit counts in getting this shit done. Get one of these next. Give my healer a bit of time for mana, though. And you do need to clear this room for the boss. There's an assassin around here somewhere. Ooh, adamantite. Any miners? Charge, defensive stance, shield slam. Get value from that defiance. Ragnarok had said, a brief pause in our guide to whack rocks. Hey, tanks gotta make money too. Made a Deep Thunder, that shit is expensive. Whenever I'm hitting this adamantite, I'm just praying for Eternium ore. That's the big money stuff. Adamantite is not bad. Usually I'll just slap them into adamantite rods since there are a lot of enchanters and they all need it. Enchanters in BC are going to need a fell iron rod, an adamantite rod, and an eternium rod. Alright. 2 pull? Is that it? I know what you're trying to say. Oh yeah, that's it. Yeah, 2 pull. Pretty comfy. Couple cultists, physical damage, demo shout them if you're hurting. Disarming these is nice. Anytime I see a mob with a 2-hander, that just really messes up their day. We might be able to pull that instructor whenever it's at this back part behind the benches. Okay, let's sheep these physical ones. Let's also sheep this Warlock guy. He was being a pain in the ass. Alright, and then we'll get this second, this third, and this fourth. What I usually tell groups is skull first, then X, then triangle, then square. Reason being, everyone knows skull is first, it means death. X has got 2 sides to it, triangle's got 3 sides to it, and square's got 4 sides to it. That's geometry. Okay, let's just pull this. Doesn't chain if you pull behind the benches. Getting some devastate, initial threat, shield block, defensive trinket. Demo shout, and we are stable. Shout is up. Keeping that shield block up every time. Great. Now, let us learn from what happened before and make sure to fully line of sight. Pulling all the way around the corner. Let's even use this feature. This seems like a good one. Just make sure they get all the way around. They will mind flay your mages that are trying to cast some stuff, so be careful of that. Now as they come around the corner, just want to tab Devastate. Make sure I address all of them. And they know who the tank is. I'm going to stun him. He hurts. Demo Shout is up. Bash that Firebolt. War Stomp that. Taunt the Shadow Priest. Everyone's been pumping. Nice Paladin stun there. Even if you're the healer, you can throw a Hammer of Justice like that. That was our Holy Paladin who threw that. And it ends up saving you mana, because you don't have to heal all the damage that that enemy would have done for the duration of that stun. Pretty smart. Seed of Corruption is out. Dispellable by Magic Dispel. Disarm the polearm guy. I like having these be sheep or CC targets just because they do that knockdown. It disrupts your tanking some. So it's best to have that happen whenever the mob count is lower. Spell Reflect? Oh, interrupted. People are on point with these interrupts. Two Earth Shocks. No, one Earth Shock, two counter spells, and a Shield Bash. Plus all the stuns we have. Alright, we can just fight the two of these healers full mana. Charge, Defensive Stance, Thunderclap, Demo Shout, because they're both physical. So I just dramatically reduce the amount of incoming damage I'm taking from these, because I put those debuffs on them. And we're focusing our threat primarily on Skull, and then tabbing to X, it's got a Devastate on it. And we are about ready for the boss. Let's just do one quick run through, check for assassins. There may be one that's kind of in the corner here. They're roguish, they like to do silly stuff and hide. There was one that pulled, but there might be one over here. Anyway, be ready for that. Alright, welcome to the Clown Fiesta fight. This guy, he hits pretty hard, he does a knockback, but he does this thing where he laughs his ass off and he watches as you all fight each other. So one thing to bear in mind is he will use some of your cooldowns, but not all of them. He will not use Shield Wall, but he will use Last Stand, and he also does like shouts, and he'll put you in Berserker stance and whatnot. Just give people a nice pull timer. And I'm going to tank him with my butt facing the door for the knockback.
5, 4.
Shield Slam. I'm just devastating. Bringing him back, keeping up that shield block, popping a defensive because the healer needs to run up to the top of this stage here. So I might be line of sight. Bloodlust being popped is good. I'm just going to Last Stand now. He's going to use that anyway. Or he likely will. I'd rather use that on my terms and benefit from it than have it wasted. So there's that knockback thing he does. Just reposition it. There he goes, Incite Chaos. People are just fighting each other. This is just a Earth Mother take the wheel situation. I can't do anything. You just gotta wait until it's over. And when it's over, you gotta reestablish threat on the boss. So I'm just devastating, revenging, and I got him. It does look like threat is reset at the end of that. So you may want to remind the DPS to just hold off, don't hit the boss the very first 2 seconds so you can get a Devastate or 2 on it. Or a Shield Slam. So whenever he charges there, he drop threat again. I'm just using Devastate. I'm going to pop a Rage Potion here. I'm going to intervene. And then just try to build as much threat as I can. There we go, we got him again. He's going to do Incite Chaos in 15 seconds. Notice that knockback affected people who are close by. So you can maintain some amount of range. Keeping up Demo Shout. Incite Chaos again. He's having us fight each other. This is a battle, a Shaman Warrior battle. Wow. It's about over. Okay, we revenge the boss. Devastate, just trying to get on top of the threat table. We got it. Back is against the wall still. There he goes with the knockback. I'm just going to intercept. Blood Rage, Shield Slam, just trying to bring him down. And we got him. He hits pretty hard there. You see almost one-shot the mage, but not quite. What is some of the loot in here? What does this guy drop? Badge. Got some decent gems. That's a nice gem for warrior DPS. Decent damage cape. Plate legs, paladin, spell hit neck. This is the trinket that I was using. Pretty good. A damage and healing wand. A very styling purple hat. Wow, that's a nice hat. Leatherworking 350. There's a random skeleton in the corner. It's a non-elite. Good luck. Now we've got some skeleton piles. Can let the mages do mage things. I'm just going to devastate, tab devastate, and just try to hold whatever I can and pull them into the blizzard. I mean the Activision. See what I did. Okay, get this. Eternium, Eternium, Eternium. 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 It didn't work. It's gonna work. Eternium. It didn't work. It's gonna work. Eternium. Eternium ore. Hey, Motive Earth times 3. That's an Iron Shield potion. Take that. Alright, this guy does a fear. There is a pack over there. So I want to make sure it's not so close that we can get feared into it. So I'm going to pull this guy back a bit. I'm going to Demo Shout, and then I'm going to flip to Berserker Stance and get ready to break a fear. I'm still ahead on threat. There we go. We break the fear, go back to defensive stance. Very clean. Good pull. We got a skeleton pile here, and you do have to pull this one. I've tried to sneak past it, but you pull it. These cauldron things, they're too close to the wall for a Torn to get by. Maybe if you had a bunch of like gnomes or something, you could sneak by here, but it's not a luxury that is afforded to the Torn. Alright, let's get this one CC'd. Let's kill this one. Let's also CC this one. And then kill in this order. Okay. Range pull. There's no Warlock in this one, so they should all run to me, which is nice. Mages are getting their sheeps off. I'm gonna tab Revenge. Tab Devastate. Shield Slam. Demo Shout, War Stomp, and I'm shield blocking. And then I can even just get a disarm on this guy. Tab. They got the interrupt there. Perfect. Mage is resheeping. Sometimes it does break early. There's just a chance for that. So, if you're a CC class, that target is your responsibility. If the CC breaks, use another CC if you can. These cultists, those who Dual wielding. Demo shout's good. Skeleton. Use whatever you have to. Actually, just use it to build rage. Okay. We got some 4-packs. These are pretty nasty. Double CC absolutely every time. Let's kill the Zealot first. Let's CC the Fnatic. These truck. They hit really hard physically. And then we'll also CC this one. The other cultists, we've fought these before. Get some rage. I'm going to pull it back a bit. I'm going to open with the Spell Reflect. Get some initial threat on that. But it got interrupted, so I didn't get initial threat. That's fine. I'm going to tab, intercept, taunt. Get a Devastate. Now try to get a Spell Reflect. It got interrupted. Well, if you don't have a bunch of pro mages and shamans, you can probably Spell Reflect a lot of the stuff. So those Fanatics, they hit really hard, but they don't have a ton of health. They're kind of like a Fury Warrior or a Combat Sword Rogue kind of a thing. Okay, double checking mana, looks good. I'm just going to go in, charge, defensive stance, Thunderclap. Wait until they're all stacked up nice, and then Demo Shout. Mages can really do well against these. And Paladins too, they're undead. Oh, crap. Alright, Sheep Fnatic, those are ouch. And another Fnatic, so we'll sheep the 2 Fanatics, those hit the hardest. And let's just get some initial threat on everything. I'm gonna charge defensive stance, Thunderclap, Demo Shout. And they can cleave down these skeletons. I'm gonna throw a challenging shout here to make sure I have absolutely everything. Nice counter spell on this one. I'm gonna build some threat. Revenge, Devastate, Shield Slam. Double check that I still have the X. I do. I'm gonna refresh my shout. He's turned into like a Core Hound kind of thing, and they hit harder physically and do a breath. I don't know why it switched back. Maybe a Spell Steal or Purge or something. Okay, Fnatic is out. Just showed the damage of these. Man, we got a lot of parry. Well, if they hit you, 807, and they're attacking really fast. 10, yeah, 1k, 1k. So if they're hitting a Clothy, they're gonna kill them super fast, but if the tank is holding them, it's pretty comfy. If they're in D stance, shield blocking and all that. Okay, we'll give the mages a second for mana. Yeah, Shield Slam has a dispel effect. So they're arguing over who gets to spell steal that dog effect. Okay. They're pulling both. Thunderclap this, Demo Shout that. Got the other one. We'll just throw in a War Stomp, reduce the incoming damage. I'll tab targeting. Pretty good pull. Alright, now we have to be careful, because these will chain. One of these packs patrols around, one of them stays. So this is the patrol pack. I'll just mark this with a star so we can keep track of it. And then we'll sheep the Fanatics because they hurt the most. Kill this one, kill that one. So I'll pull this way back. It should not chain from there. Pulling way back. Way back. Mainly for this Shadow Bolt guy. Or gal. Taunted it. Resisted. We got a shield slam though. I'm gonna Spell Reflect. Nope, I don't have Rage. Spell Reflect is very expensive for Rage. It costs 25. And a lot of stuff like this Focus Rage, it doesn't impact this at all. It still costs 25 because it's a defensive spell, not an offensive spell. Even though I would say that's debatable. I'll pop a armor defensive here. Get my demo shout up. Oh, look at that. The mage, they stole the spell, and now they get to be a core hound. Look at that. That's awesome. Spell steal is fun. You can do all kinds of cool stuff. It levels sword skill too. Damn. That is fancy. Okay, let's Sheep of Fnatic. Because one of these is one of them is a core hound, we'll just pull. Oh no. Spell Reflect. We got it. Nice. 3K Shadow Bolt. Hell yeah. That's what I'm talking about. These have a fist weapon, but you can disarm it. Their unarmed skill is pretty good though, so. Okay, we get the Fnatic now. Hard physical hits. Shield slam for threat. Demo shout for mitigation. They're hitting for 1.5k some of the time. Parry, 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 miss, miss, parry, parry. Way of the tank. Alright. This Zealot, they may want to spell steal. There's a wild skeleton. Use it to build rage. Double check on mana. Let's do a raid check. People are good. Okay, you can just charge up here to get to this guy. So what he's going to do is he's going to summon a bunch of Void Walkers all over the place. And they explode and they give him a bunch of power. So I'm going to pull him all the way down this hallway. Down in that direction. He does an ability where he summons us all up to this spot and channels Rain of Fire. We jump down and we do the same thing. We run back down this way. Just to make sure you have threat. So we're going. Shield slamming it. Devastating it. He's more of a Warlock kind of guy, so he doesn't really hit super hard with physical hits. I want to pull them away from these portals. That's where the Void Walkers are coming out. Shield blocking it still. Shout is up. Demo shout. And about here is fine. The DPS can kill these. Or CC them here like a Frost Nova. Out of range of him, so he doesn't get the benefit. He's about to draw shadows in 10 seconds. That's going to pull us back up here to the platform. Alright. He pulled us. We're going to jump down. And he died. If it's a slower DPS group, you can kite him through here. Just try to avoid the Void Walkers. They explode. Reduce threat trinket. What else did he drop? Healing plate chest. One-handed mace. Gun. Healing cloth shoulders. Cool. Alright, this is the trickiest part of the raid, or dungeon. 4 pulls. You've got Murmur at the end of this hallway. He's kind of a Ragnaros looking guy. And you've got waves of ads that you have to fight, and then you have waves that Murmur is going to kill. So do you see this here? Murmur is casting spells. He's knocking these down with the orbs, but he does a zappy beam, and that's what kills him. So he just killed one there, but we need to wait until he kills Triangle. Okay, we're watching. Whenever the Triangle dies, we are good to pull Skull next. But if you... Okay, there we go. If you pull before it dies, it'll chain to the other pack and you wipe, and it's painful. If you want to see what that looks like, you can check out the normal version of the Shadowlands guide. I was in a run where that happened, and we just included it just to demonstrate the principle. You can skip through the ghost run back if you want to save yourself some time, but this is all about patience and pulling at the right time. These do a little whirlwind thing. They don't hit super hard, but as you can see, they've got some Dreadnought gear on, so they're pretty tanky. They hit for 2k. Weapon speed is pretty slow. We have pretty strong physical attackers. The first pull is just a 2-pull. So we got the same thing here. We need to wait for the Spellbinder to get zapped. You can tell which ones are the ones that get zapped by Murmur because they're running back and forth. The other groups just kind of sit where they are. Okay, we need to wait for this guy. Mark Triangle. Okay, there he's dead. Okay, we mark the CCs for sheep, and I'm going to pull before the next one spawns. Back, back, back. Back, back, back. There's one sheep, 2 sheep. Red sheep, blue sheep. Okay, that one is summoning. We need to interrupt that. Nice counter spell. Devastate. These Spellbinders, they do a mind control. You need to interrupt that as soon as you can. Summoner summon. You need to interrupt that as soon as you can. Spell reflect a fireball. Oh, they got a stun. Nice. Summoners and Spellbinders are pretty tough. You might also try sheeping one of the either Spellbinder or the Summoner and just fight the Executioner. Executioner is a little bit simpler to deal with. They hit pretty hard, but they're not going to take one of your party members with a mind control or anything, or summon more mobs. So just out of principle, let's just try that next pull. See what happens. Someone called these mini brunts because of the armor. Okay, let's try sheeping this one. And then we'll kill this one second and kill this one. And now we just want to watch and make sure there's no mob between these. It looks... Oh, there's one. There's one. Alright, he killed it. We're good to go. Pull back. Okay, Spellbinder. Want to keep an eye on interrupts for that. I'll throw a War Stomp just to control the pull. Demo Shout for the physical guy. Brainwash, we can interrupt that. That's the name of the mind control effect. They're probably saying all kinds of propaganda at you. You just gotta say, nope, that's bullshit. We're not changing sides. Yep. There's the summon. We can interrupt that with the intercept. Cleaning up Executioner. Good bull. Okay, before we pull, just want to keep an eye out for the stuff that is between. If there's any... Yep, there it is. Okay. That cleared out. Go ahead and pull. Man, it looks good. Pulling way back, letting people CC. Just want to make sure I have both of these. Shield slam. They need to stand back from the whirlwind guy. Interrupted that brainwash. Shield bash it. You can disarm these guys. Getting those devastates off. Blood rage for rage gen. Refresh and shouts. Very clean pull. Executioner next. Devastating him, shield slamming him. Usually we have a rule of if you're Alder, you need those. If you're Scryer, you need the tomes or whatever. Okay, let's get 2 sheeps out on this one. Last pull here. Triple Spellbinder, this is a tricky one. If you don't CC anything, they could take 3 out of 5 of the party, and then it's, yeah, it's bad. But we have a turtle, a pig, and a Spellbinder now. Much easier to deal with. Okay, pulling this. And for the last one, I'll save some rage for the boss. Bash that. No brainwashing us. Okay. So this guy puts a nasty debuff on somebody, so you need to stay spread out. He also does a pull everyone in arcane explosion thing, so you need to run outside of this circle you see right here. This circle. If you're on the other side, you're good. And then as the tank, you want to charge back in as fast as you can after you run out.
Five, 4,
Pulling.
3, 2.
Charge, defensive stance, shield slam for threat. He hits fairly hard. 1400 for regular attack. Got Bloodlust up. He's kind of like Veilstraz, where he starts out with less than full HP. Starts out with 40. Okay, he's casting that stuff on people. They need to spread out. I don't know why they're all stacked up. Yep, he's running away because he does an arcane explosion thing. Gets knocked up into the air. So you can think about it a little bit like the Baron Bomb from MC. If he puts that on you, just make sure you're not next to any of your party members. Sonic Boom is going. We're going to run out. I'm in the outer circle now. He goes boom. We run back in. Intercept. Want to make sure we're at the top of the threat table if we can. A little bit low on threat, so I'm just going to pop a rage potion. Now we can get ahead. Blood rage that, shield slam it. Now we're creating a nice bit of space here. If he was hitting you really hard physically and you don't have any issues with threat, you could do a iron shield potion instead. And that is Heroic Shadow Labs. Manhand Mace here. Oh, bear in mind that effect thing stays on you after the fight is over, so you can just see the damage that it dealt to all of us here. You do still explode. Pretty cool mace. Holy Paladin in the group said it's an extra upgrade for her, so congrats. Mayo healing chest. Pretty good resto shaman. If you're a paladin, you can also use that. Shoulder guards are the bold. This is a nice pre-bis warrior tank shoulder. Nether for crafters. What else he drop? Some nice gems. Strength hit is amazing for PvE. Spell strike pants pattern. These gloves with disarm protection, I use these for PvP, really nice. Cloth legs, damage and healing, got some stats on it. And the girdle gives some hit AP, enhanced shaman, waste. This place all gives lower city rep. Hope you all enjoyed this guide, and I'll see you on the next one. Don't forget to repair before you leave town. And from me, Brunt, ancestors watch over you.